So, for the past year, I've been doing an excellent job of not caring about what other people think of me. And enjoying every bit of life. And recently, I decided to really care about what someone thought of me. So I'm wondering where I went wrong. Because
Well, here's the thing that's tricky about this, because we can glibly say to you that you're expanding and this is the standard that you want to find harmony with, and you really have to get to a place where you don't give a rip what anybody else thinks, because there's too many moving parts. And if you're trying to stand on your head to please that one or that one or that one or that one or that one, you really can only have one person in your life like that, because if there are two and they want something slightly different, then you don't know what to do. But all of that is, while it is law-based, it's not the easiest thing in the world for you to make work in your life, because the fact of it is, there are a lot of people in your life, and a lot of people do hold you as their object of attention, and a lot of people do have a response to things you do and things you say and things you think. In other words, you're getting constant feedback. So if you've been trained, like most people do, to try to offer behavior that produces pleasing responses from them, then life's really busy for you. Your parents taught that to you early on. If you please them, they smile. If you don't please them, they punish you in some way. And without meaning to, they were well-meaning in every case, they trained you away from your own guidance system. And the thing that's tricky about that is that as you try to please that one, no matter what it is, there is a strong possibility that you are defying what you have actually put into your own vibrational reality, that your own source energy is calling you towards. So you really have come to a rather strong decision that is of great value when you say, I've decided that it matters most to me how I feel, because it matters most to me that I'm in alignment with Source. But then it turns out that it all kind of fits together nicely, because for you to be in alignment with Source, you must think loving and appreciative thoughts of whoever is your object of attention. And when you're thinking loving and appreciative thoughts of whoever is your object of attention, the law of attraction matches you up with things that feel really good to both of you. In other words, these laws really do not betray you in any way. Here's an interesting way of approaching this. So someone says, I want to be appreciated. So let's say this person who wants to be appreciated looks to a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a mother or someone and wants to be appreciated. But that person, for whatever reason, isn't appreciating them. Now, when we say for whatever reason, what we really mean is you're not evoking it, and so law of attraction is not matching you up with it. But when you're not being appreciated, it feels to you like it's their fault. They should be more appreciating, because if they were really doing their job, they would appreciate me regardless of the vibe I'm giving off, which isn't true, but that's the way you feel when you're not in the vortex. So then let's say this person who wants to be appreciated but isn't being appreciated says to their inner being, or to Abraham, Abraham, that person won't appreciate me, so I would like you to. I want to feel your appreciation. Well, now the interesting thing about reaching to your source for appreciation is that you gotta be in the vicinity of your source in order to feel it, because your source is offering it all the time. That's the appreciation we want you to be reaching for, not from the peanut gallery. But now, hear how this plays out. So, okay, Abraham, I want to feel your appreciation, so I'm going to tune myself to feeling your appreciation. Guess what happens when you tune yourself to feeling the appreciation of your source? Your lover appreciates you too, because it was you all along. Isn't that interesting?
yes.
Oh, now you appreciate me. Now I've tuned myself to Source. Oh, now you'll appreciate me. Where were you when I needed you? Well, that's just the way the laws of the universe work, you see. So when you say, I'm not going to give a rip what anyone thinks, we want to modify that by saying, you can't help but care about them because you've put so much of them in your vortex. You have created a version of them in your vibrational reality. And the version of them, oh, this is so good. The version of them that you've put into your vibrational reality is someone who loves and someone who's stable and someone who's sure and someone who knows you and loves you and wants to be with you. That's the version of them that you've put there, you see. And so it's your job to see that version and only that version, no matter how they're behaving. And that's the tricky thing, because some of them are loud. Some of them are just really in your face, not behaving the way you'd like them to behave. But you have to hold to your picture of what you are wanting, or put yourself in a place where at least you're not seeing so much of what you don't want. Don't you think that's a good way of looking at this? That when you reach for the love that Source will always give you, in order to find it, you got to tune yourself to it. And when you tune yourself to it, then only that part of others can show themselves to you. That's why we say, line up with who you are, and then everything else takes care of itself. Law of attraction sees to it.
Okay.
Now, we know you understand the theory of that. Want to talk about it in detail?
A little. I felt like I did that in 2009, and at the end of the year...
Well, we don't care about 2009.
Okay.
We don't care about 2010. We don't care about what you call today. This vibrational reality is bigger and faster. It's where it's at. Listen to this. Your vibrational reality, which is manifestation yet to come, but vibration already in place, from our point of view, is present tense. And your reality that you're living right now, boom, there it went again, 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 there it went again. Past tense, past tense, past tense doesn't mean diddly squat. It's already done its work.
I agree.
Put it here, this is where it's at.
I agree.
All that matters is how you feel now. Because now and how you feel is the juncture where you meet you. How you doing? I'm lonely. Then you're not doing well. I'm ornery. Then you're not doing well. I'm hopeful. Better. I'm overwhelmed. Not so good. I'm hopeful. Better. In other words, how you doing? How you doing?
I agree 100%. And
so as we said to someone earlier, our best work is to soothe your resistance. So we start to soothe your resistance by telling you the unequivocal, undeniable law that never gets squirrely on you. Now, if you want to give us some details, we'll help you soothe your resistance.
Specifically, the feedback on me at work was negative relative to my perception of how I was performing. And so now, as I went through a year of work and enjoyed and had passion and love and desire for the things I was doing and saved the company $20 million, at the end of the year, I hear negative feedback to how I performed.
All right, so consider this. You can only get negative feedback from people outside the vortex.
I agree.
So why would you care what someone out of the vortex says to you when it's 100% probability of it being negative? So where do we suggest you get your feedback from? Source. And what do you think Source is saying about that? We really want to jump in here so that you get it. You care what they think.
I agree.
That's like asking someone who doesn't have any money to give you a loan.
And the degree to my discomfort is inevitable, or is seen with the degree at which my rating was to my perception.
That's all flawed. This is what it is.
Okay.
This is the reason you feel so bad. It hasn't got anything to do with them. It's that you have expectations of yourself that when you give attention to their negative rating takes you apart from who you are. It's not their statistics that are messing you up. It's your own. In other words, this will feel a little off the subject, but it really isn't. It's right on. Someone will say, this rascal, often it's a lover or an employer, this person has made me so frustrated and angry, and in the process, I have asked for this, and asked for this, and asked for this. So that person is responsible for enormous expansion. My vortex is spinning faster and my inner being is standing taller because of that rascally rascal. So that person is the reason that I expanded. And that person is also the reason that I don't take my expansion, because I'm looking and listening to what that person says.
Correct.
So we think you had a good idea in the beginning not to give a rip what that person thinks. But that's not going far enough. You have to thank them and their trouble for the expansion that they affected in you. You see, you're not upset because their rating of you isn't pleasing them. You're upset because your attention to their negativity is not who you are. Can you feel that?
Yes.
And you said some words that were very telling in that, because you kept saying, my perception and their perception. Their perception of me doesn't measure up to my perception of me. And we say, no, that's not what it is. Your perception of you isn't matching up to your perception of you. They are irrelevant. They were only fodder for your expansion.
Thank you.